If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Jonathan Kuminga just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. The NBA world is buzzing right now, and Warriors Nation has been sent into absolute overdrive. In a shocking turn of events, it's being widely reported that Jonathan Kuminga, the young forward many believed would be the face of the Golden State Warriors' future, is expected to sign the qualifying offer with the team. This isn't just another piece of off-season gossip. No, this is the type of decision that could reshape the Warriors' future, affect Stephen Curry's championship window, and set the tone for years to come in the Bay Area. Tonight, we're diving deep into the story that has everyone talking. Why is Kuminga taking this route? What does it mean for the Warriors roster? And most importantly, how does this change everything for Steph, Draymond, and the entire Golden State dynasty that's already hanging on by a thread? First, let's lay it out clearly. Jonathan Kuminga was supposed to be more than just another name on the roster. He was supposed to be the guy to bridge the gap between the Warriors' legendary past and their uncertain future. Drafted 7th overall in the 2021 NBA Draft, Kuminga arrived in the Bay with sky-high expectations. He had the athleticism, the explosiveness, and the raw potential to eventually take the baton from Curry and Klay Thompson as the next big star. And over the past season, we saw flashes of that. Kuminga showed off his scoring ability, his defensive versatility, and his knack for making highlight plays that got fans on their feet. But with that potential came tension. The Warriors' coaching staff, led by Steve Kerr, hasn't always known how to balance giving Kuminga minutes with relying on the proven veterans who have brought banners to San Francisco. The whispers started long ago. Rumors of frustration. Rumors of Kuminga feeling like he wasn't getting the role or recognition he deserved. Then, after another playoff disappointment, the situation boiled over. Jonathan Kuminga's camp reportedly began sending subtle signals that his long-term future with Golden State wasn't guaranteed. And now, here we are, staring down the reality. Kuminga is expected to sign the qualifying offer. For those who don't know, the qualifying offer is basically a one-year deal that a restricted free agent can accept. It guarantees him another year with the team, but here's the kicker: after that year, he becomes an unrestricted free agent, free to walk away with no strings attached. That means the Warriors are essentially on borrowed time. They've got 1 year left to prove to Kuminga that he belongs here, or risk losing him for nothing. And that's what makes this news so historic. We're talking about a former lottery pick, a player drafted to be the cornerstone of a new era, potentially walking away at just 22 years old. It almost never happens like this in the NBA. Teams usually lock down their young stars with long-term extensions. They don't let them sniff free agency this early. But Kuminga is making a statement. He's saying, I'm betting on myself. I'm not going to be stuck in the shadows. I want to control my own future. And honestly, you can't blame him. This Warriors team is at a crossroads. Klay Thompson is already gone, heading to Dallas in a move that shocked Dub Nation. Draymond Green is still here, but how much longer can he be that defensive anchor? And Curry, the heart and soul of it all, is in the twilight of his prime. For Kuminga, this is the moment to decide: does he want to stick around for the last chapter of the dynasty, or does he want to write his own story elsewhere? The reaction across the NBA has been explosive. Analysts are divided. Some are praising Kuminga for showing maturity beyond his years, for taking control of his career and not just accepting whatever the Warriors throw at him. Others are calling it risky, even reckless. They point out that injuries, inconsistency, or even just a bad season could cost him millions of dollars in the future. But one thing is for sure: the decision puts all the pressure on the Warriors front office. Mike Dunleavy Jr., the general manager, now has to figure out how to convince Kuminga to stay long-term. Joe Lacob, the team's owner, has to decide if he's willing to invest the future of the franchise in a player who might already have one foot out the door. And Steve Kerr, the coach, has to figure out how to maximize Kuminga's role without completely dismantling the system that brought the team 4 championships. Warriors fans are split too. On one side, you've got the diehards who say Kuminga has to earn it. They argue that he's shown flashes but hasn't been consistent enough to deserve star treatment. On the other side, you've got fans who believe the team has wasted Kuminga's talent by holding him back, playing him limited minutes while leaning too heavily on aging veterans. Social media is a firestorm of takes. Some fans are begging the team to give Kuminga the keys to the franchise right now. Others are bracing themselves for the painful reality that the young star might already be planning his exit. And then, of course, there's the question of Steph Curry. What does he think? For years, Curry has been the perfect teammate, always supportive, always putting the team first. But deep down, he knows that if the Warriors can't surround him with enough talent, his championship window could slam shut. If Kuminga leaves, that might be the final nail in the coffin for the Warriors' title hopes. This is bigger than just one contract. This is about identity. The Golden State Warriors aren't just a team, they're a dynasty. They're a brand. They're the face of modern basketball, thanks to Curry's three-point revolution. But dynasties don't last forever. We've seen it time and time again. The Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. The Spurs with Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili. Even the Bulls with Jordan. Eventually, the stars fade, and the torch has to be passed. For the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga was supposed to be that torchbearer. And now, the fire is flickering. The question is, will the front office do everything in its power to keep that flame alive, or will they let it burn out? Let's not forget the bigger picture. Around the league, other teams are watching this situation very closely. If Kuminga becomes an unrestricted free agent next summer, you better believe half the league will be lining up with offers. Athletic wings who can defend multiple positions and score in transition don't just grow on trees. Imagine Kuminga in Miami, running alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Imagine him in New York, thriving under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. Imagine him in Oklahoma City, joining a young core led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren. The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this story so dangerous for the Warriors. They're not just fighting to keep a player. They're fighting to keep a future superstar away from their rivals. But let's get real here. Could this decision actually be a blessing in disguise? Sometimes, when a player bets on himself, it lights a fire under the organization. It forces them to adapt, to innovate, to finally embrace change. The Warriors have been clinging to the past, trying to squeeze every last drop out of the Curry-Thompson-Green trio. Maybe Kuminga's decision is the wake-up call they need. Maybe this is the moment where the franchise finally admits it's time to transition to a new era. If they play it right, if they give Kuminga the role and the trust he's asking for, this could be the move that saves the Warriors, not destroys them. Of course, it won't be easy. Change never is. There will be growing pains. There will be clashes between veterans and young players. There will be games where Kuminga struggles, where the critics say he's not ready, where fans question if the gamble was worth it. But if he succeeds, if he blossoms into the star so many believe he can be, then this decision to sign the qualifying offer will go